A full Saturday slate of USL League One action comes to an end in beautiful Fresno, California, as one of the league's hottest teams, Central Valley Fuego FC, hosts a Forward Madison squad in California for the first time ever, looking to steal some points on the road. Hi everybody, John Gross with you on this Saturday night out in sunny California. Forward Madison, Central Valley Fuego just minutes away from kickoff. Let's take a look at the league table, where things stand at this point. This is the final match of the night. These are updated standings. Fuego FC sits in that third spot, 12 points after a 4-0 win on the road last weekend. And with FC Tucson's win on the road against Tormenta tonight, Forward Madison now sits in the 11th spot, just 6 points on the season for the Flamingos. Central Valley has been on a tear as of late, and it's because of a very well-balanced offense. There's Diego Casillas, his goal, a big one. He's back in the lineup for his team. Last weekend, 4 goals by 3 different goal scorers, and as you see, 7 different Central Valley players have scored a goal this year. That is tied for second most goal scorers in League One play this season. On the flip side, Forward Madison has had a bit of a tough time scoring goals this year, but one guy who's done it a couple of times is Nazim Bartman. A goal earlier this season, a goal last weekend. How about this finish? The only issue, he's the first and only multi-goal scorer for Forward Madison in 2022. It's something that Matt Glazer said they have to work on, have to develop. A team that has struggled to score this year, only 6 goals on the entire season. If they're going to pull up an upset today, they'll need some goals from their squad. Some young fans taking in this one, some visiting fans as well. It's Fuego FC, it's Forward Madison, kickoff, lineups, and more coming up next on ESPN+.
It's a goal for Orange County SC, and their first of the season, and that's full time. The old guard with a new trophy. Orange County wins the USL Championship Final.
For the black and yellow, New Mexico takes the lead, and all 12,000 plus here at the lab are on their feet.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
We are underway a little bit early between Forward Madison and Fuego FC. The Flamingos at 1-3-3 on this season, sitting on 6 points. Fuego FC 3-1-3, 12 points on the season for the squad with the red tops and the black shorts. The white and pink kits for the visitors from Forward Madison. John Gross with you on this Saturday night. This is the nightcap of a full Saturday slate of action in League One play. Forward Madison has dropped its last 2 matches. Last weekend, a 2-1 defeat at the hands of Charlotte Independence. That was in Madison, Wisconsin. They fell behind early 2-0. Got a second half goal by Nazim Bartman, but could not overcome that deficit. And as we mentioned in the pre-match, they have struggled to score goals, just 6 in the season. That is tied for last in the league entering today, and with FC Tucson scoring a goal, Forward Madison now in dead last in goals on the season with just 6. Maldonado leaves it back. Pass cut away well. Now Bijev took some contact from behind from Leonard. And Villian Bijev, the reigning player of the week in League One. He's a little slow to his feet. There is Eric Leonard.
We want to take a minute to say thank you to our ball kids tonight from the Spurs and Ladies Spurs Soccer Club. Thank you to our ball kids tonight from the Spurs and Ladies Spurs Soccer Club.
Villian Bijev, a Fresno native, playing in his hometown. What a season he has had this year. 4 goals, 1 assist. Had a brace last week in that 4-0 thrashing of Tormenta. And that was probably the most shocking result that we've seen this season. Maybe not the fact that Fuego won, but the way that they did it. It was 4 goals by 3 different goal scorers. Here's a central fade. Deflects out. Comes to the foot of Ramos. And again is knocked away for a Fuego FC throw-in. And at the topic of that 4-0 win, Martin Vasquez, first of all, gave all of the credit to the players, so they executed to perfection. And really felt that the way that they started the game, they set the tone early, and by getting those 2 very early goals, that forced Tormenta FC to try to open things up and push forward. And Fuego FC added 2 more goals before the end of the first half alone. Martin Vasquez really highlighted their ball movement, the way that they connected and combined. Felt that allowed them to break down the defense and really put the chances away. Fuego FC playing in front of its home supporters for just the 2nd time this season. Bijev got ahead of the pack, was held up from behind. Might have gotten a little bit of a head start though, and he did. There is Villian Bijev. High press here. Brino able to knock it away. One of the big storylines for Fuego FC last weekend, they changed up their shape a bit, threw some wrinkles in there, and that's something that Martin Vasquez says that he wants his team to do. He wants them to be versatile, multiple in their formations. But he said regardless of what they come out in, their style of play will not change. That we don't want to change. And there is a scary collision. It's Bartman and Sharif Jay a little slow to their feet. Or is Bartman our man to watch for forward Madison? And a goal last week. The lone multi-goal scorer this season for the Mingos. Forward Madison, fresh off of that 2-1 loss against Charlotte Independence. A match in which head coach Matt Glazer gave a lot of credit to Charlotte for their mentality after a really challenging week. It was Charlotte's 3rd match in 6 days. Matt Glazer said that their efficiency just has to be better, especially on offense. And defensively, they have to stop leaking soft goals. Said that's been a big issue for them this season. Frank Antman gets rid of it. Tied for the league leading clean sheets with 3. He's the reigning Team of the Week goalkeeper. 5 Fuego FC players named to the Team of the Week for their performance last week. Here comes Bartman to the takeaway. Tried to find Bakijam, who is back in the lineup. Amdou Bakijam, back as a starter after coming off the bench last weekend. Had missed the previous couple of matches. Short touch, and still ends up with Cassini. Bit of a break there for forward Madison. And here comes Derek Gebhardt, unable to maintain it. See the supporters, solid showing for just the second home match in Central Valley Fuego FC franchise history. They played 6 of their first 7 matches outside of Fresno. Martin Vasquez said, if anything, we're going to love the energy, we're going to love the support that we get at home. We want to play for these supporters. But hey, we don't have to travel for 12 hours. Our guys can wake up in their own beds Saturday morning, the day of the match, and just go to the park and play some soccer. Contact along the touchline. There's Cyrus Rott. A little bit of a displeased look on his face. Had an assist last week. We'll look back at this as Rod came in on Nathan Smith. Jay serves one up towards Bijev. Did not hook up. Now it's Michael Hornsby. The German, Hornsby, slips it, Bijev. The hometown kid. Just not at the same page as his teammates.
If you happen to see Fuego El Fox around the stadium, make sure you snap a photo with Fuego El Fox. Follow him on Instagram at Fuego El Fox. And if you happen to get on the Instagram stories, make sure you tag us at CV Fuego.
Bijev. Ramos gets rid of it. Sharif Jay, his pass intercepted. Both teams showing some extended pressure early. Bartman works ahead to Cassini. Gebhardt. Cassini, somebody who Matt Glazers is clearly his talent. He wants to see him be a little bit more dangerous in potential scoring opportunities. As Antman comes off his line, the Israeli keeper, big toss, took him off of his feet. Now it's Schenfeld. Ramos launches out of play. Celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL League One. Choose what you play with at www.selectsportamerica.com. Select, League's choice, player's choice. This is the second meeting of the season between these two clubs. First one was an interesting one, to say the least. A 1-0 victory for Fuego FC up on a sloppy, windy, wet, you name it. It was all sorts of nasty weather up in Madison. 1-0 victory. They scored on their only shot of the match. Forward Madison at 12. Here's Hornsby. Now Bijev. Francois Deleuze slips it forward. Come the other direction with Bartman. I don't think either coach really put much stock into that match, just with the weather conditions, and as Matt Glazer pointed out to me, we'll have some guys back who didn't play then. They'll have guys who didn't play then. So maybe a rematch, but a lot of differences. Bakijam able to keep it in his possession as Maldonado trots over for the throw. And there is Martin Vasquez, the first-year head man for Fuego FC. And what a career he has had. He has coached at the top levels worldwide. Previously the head coach at Chivas USA back when they were a thing in MLS. Assistant stints at LA Galaxy, Bayern Munich under Jurgen Klinsmann. Leonard's pass turned over. Here's Bijev. Dangerous, perhaps. A nice tackle by Leonard to retreat. A blast from Jay into the supporter section. Here is Sharif Jay. Had 2 assists last weekend. It's just his second start of the season, but he certainly earned this start. Was named a team of the week, and the guy with a lot of promise, a lot of abilities. Was a selection by the New York Red Bulls in the 2020 MLS Super Draft, 15th overall pick. We'll look back at this. Just ricocheted out to him and thought, why not? Gillingham skies it. Beautiful feed. Now it's Falk, another team of the week selection. And deflects out for a corner kick. It's our first El Mexicano corner kick of the match. Vilian Bijev works his way to the corner flag. Born in Bulgaria, raised in Fresno. Actually attended Fuego FC matches growing up in a previous iteration of the pro club in Fresno. Played short, gets it right back from Schenfeld. Bijev blasted in. And it's Brino able to haul it. There is Phil Brino, the only goalkeeper who has been named League One Player of the Week this season. Back in week 5. Wheeler Amunu chips ahead. Offside flag is raised. Derek Gebhardt, head start. Here's a turnover, finds the foot of Bartman. And a great tackle from behind, made by Nathan Smith, another California guy. This is a Fuego FC roster chock full of Fresno area players. As Entman just has to send it out for a throw. Gebhardt now. Cassini. Rodman, Rod, physical battle. And Rod whistled. It's Jay who is jockeying with him. is Matt Glazer, former goalkeeper in the U.S. and in Finland. A couple of first-year head coaches with their respective squads. This is Matt Glazer's first time as a head coach, period. Bartman slips it ahead. Good feed. Now Gebhard. Options on his left. Really heavy first touch. Just kind of got away from Drew Connor in the midfield. Cassini maybe a little bit too cheeky on that back heel attempt. Leonard forces the takeaway. Connor slips it ahead. Bartman with the left off target. But some quality build up there for forward Madison, a team that, as we talked about before, has fallen behind early a lot this season. And encouraging signs for them that they're at least maintaining some possession in this final third. And Bartman, not the highest quality of looks, but he's been the one to produce, as 2 of the 6 goals scored by forward Madison. And there was Mateus Cassini in some pain. The Brazilian midfielder, his 4th consecutive start.
Once again, if you happen to see Fuego El Fox throughout the stadium, make sure you snap a photo with Fuego El Fox. If you put it on your IG story,
High praise from Matt Glazer in regards to Mateus Cassini.
follow him on IG at Fuego El Fox.
He's really a quality player.
Don't forget
Just wants to see him get more comfortable, but very fun player to watch, getting that left leg area checked on. Gives the thumbs up to his bench, encouraging signs. Guy who's playing career has taken him all over the world. Has played at his native country of Brazil. Spent some times with Corinthians in his home country. Also pro stints in France, Italy, Croatia, and Bulgaria. Gives that thumbs up. Seems that he is getting set to return shortly. Schenfeld won that header, but falls to Wheeler Omunu. Now it's Cassini. Cassini slaps it forward. And no trouble for Ofek Antsman. Minutes into this one at Fresno State Soccer Stadium in Fresno, California. Fuego FC, 12 points. They have been off to an impressive start in year 1 as a franchise. At 3-1-3, fresh off of a major victory at Tormenta last week, 4-0. Meanwhile, forward Madison currently sit in the bottom of the league table, just 6 points in the year. Here's Jay giving chase to it. Really well played ball to him on that right flank. 1-on-1 on Rod. Tries to work around him. And Rod had it perfectly played. Dangerous spot for Maldonado to work it across the face of the goal. And Gebhardt trying to stick with it. Brino has to come way off his line to kick it out. Now, perhaps flashbacks for some forward Madison faithful, as the lone shot and the goal that Fuego FC had in that wet and windy matchup earlier this season was in a ball that Phil Brino just misplayed, came way off his line. And that was the difference. Only shot of the match for Fuego FC. Only one they needed. There is Matt Glazer. Comes from a coaching family. Maldonado works it back. Bakijam, a roller, and Hansman has his first save. The Israeli up to 18 saves in the season. That is good for the second most in League One. And what a year he has had in net. Martin Vasquez, very high in his goalkeeper. Feels this is the perfect league form at this point in his career. But again, forward Madison and some quality build-up there. Good passing in the final third. And they have another takeaway. Bakijam turning, lifting, off the woodwork. But the flag was up. Promising sight to see Abdou Bakijam back in the starting 11. And that's what he can provide. He's a dangerous offensive player. Had 46 goals, 18 assists at UConn. Was an all-region player for the Huskies. His previous 3 years at USL Championship side, Louisville City. Gillingham sends it ahead. Falk maintains it, dances. And it did go over the touchline for a throw. Here's the look from Bakijam. You could see him trailing Maldonado. Really nice idea. And then Antman, diving save. Bijev tracks under it. Instead handed back to Phil Brino in net. Connor leads the charge. You can see the idea and the attempt to a streaking Cassini. Ramos targets Hornsby. Here's Falk. One touch for Hornsby. Hornsby dances through one. And that is cut off by Gebhard. And all Leonard could do is boot it out. Leonard, who has been since forward Madison since day one. The most played Mingo. And that is not a sight you want to see. Abdou Bakijam, who just came back last week from injury, is in some pain. And we'll stay on the pitch. Hornsby Maintains it as a bag flies in the field. It's a corner kick, another El Mexicano corner kick for Fuego FC. The second of this first half. William Bichev spots it and readies from the corner flag. Looking to give these home fans something to celebrate. Just the second home match in franchise history. They drew the opener at home against Greenville Triumph. This ball in and flutters over everybody. And out for a forward Madison throw-in. Forward Madison, 3 shots, one of which ended up on target. Just 2 shots for Fuego FC. Karen Collado blowing that whistle, our match referee. Bartman, really good feed. Bakijam, numbers on his right. Abdou Bakijam, back to Bartman. Taking off the ball momentarily. Does well to stick with it. Splitting through 2. Cross in front, takes a deflection. Cleared off the goal line. Right back out to Connor, who lifts it well off target. But again, a promising sight. And how about that from Maldonado, dancing through 2. Gebhardt could not get a clean foot on it. And it was Hornsby who knocked it off the goal line. But through the first half an hour or so, it has been forward Madison with the more threatening opportunities. A team that has struggled to find success offensively, as Bartman is pushed out, and they'll get a free kick. And I asked Matt Glazer what he wants his offensive identity to be. How does he want them to play in the attack? And he said they really haven't had an issue getting the ball across midfield, but with so many moving pieces, players going in and out of the lineup, different roles, injuries and such, it's just been difficult to get those final movements, those penetrating passes in the final third. Maybe a little more continuity today, though. Here's Maldonado, serves it up towards the near side. Out for a goal kick. Two teams thus far opposite ends of the league table. Do get it out. Forward Madison's first ever trip to California. Meanwhile, Fuego FC just their second home match of this season. Maldonado strikes it forward, and Antman has to race out of his position to scoop it up. Maldonado is somebody who was really creative last week, as he's been all season. Matt Glazer feels that he could be a big-time performer for his side. Can be utilized in multiple positions, and really loves the way that he acts just off the pitch as well, says he has a ton of personality. He's that jokester on the team that every club needs. Gillingham's guys in ahead. Ends up with Bijev. He's turned away. Hornsby down the line. Victor Falk now. Falk, a driven cross. Settles to the feet of Jay. Sharif Jay with space. Jay with the left. Had 2 assists last week. He's starting to get into that offensive rhythm. We'll look back at this. Maldonado, seeing that weak side, could not control it. As Jay created some space and just launched it skyward. But you have to like the idea. Jordan Chavez, who had his first career goal last week on a corner kick, another Team of the Week honoree. One of 5 Central Valley Fuego players to be named to the Week 8 Team of the Week, and for good reason. It was an all-around effort, 3 goal scorers in that 4-0 win over Tormenta on the road. And entering that match, Tormenta had only conceded 3 goals all season. It's a high-powered offense. They're looking for some offense right here. Ball slips under the foot of Hornsby. Chance to counter. Bartman just out of the reach of Bakijam. Smith, they'll play on. Here's Jay. Centers looking for Bijev. Leonard does well to cut it away. Bijev tracks after it. Villian Bijev, so skillful, could not get a clean look off. Ramos. Now Jay, one-on-one on Bartman. Sharif Jay. Is it nicked away momentarily? And a throw in goes the opposite direction. It's at the final 10 or so minutes of this first 45. Still scoreless. Second match of the season between these two clubs. The title holders take the spotlight once again when New Mexico United travels to Orange County SC. Don't miss any of the action Saturday, June 4th at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Deportes. Hornsby able to settle. 1-2 back for Hornsby. Has space, gets off the cross. Comes out to Jay. Jay still with it. What control, but could not find a teammate. Deflects out, here's a go. Brito says no on the doorstep. Ramos readies again, has another go. Now it's Schenfeld. Schenfeld tripped up, they'll play on. Schenfeld centers. A blast! A frantic possession for Fuego FC. Ramos at the first trip, Brino the denial. Able to still stick with it. And Ozzy Ramos says, hey, why not? Puts it over to Schenfeld. And then his ball comes out. Another blast from Ramos. And again, that's Bartman. He has been in some tough spots today, taking a lot of contact. His fourth start of the season. Somebody Matt Glazer called a pleasant surprise. Wasn't totally sure what they were getting with Nazim Bartman. 2 goals, leads his team. Has a nice ball here. Leonard. Wheeler Amunu. This could be costly. Bijev leads the charge. Schenfeld on his left. Dancing, and down he goes. A surefire booking. It's Drew Connor who has shown the yellow. Only had to stop the breakaway somehow. And he doesn't like that. No doubt about it. So a yellow card on Drew Connor in the 41st minute. And a Fuego FC side with so many weapons makes them just so versatile and threatening on set pieces. Ramos and Bijev, the one standing over it. It's Bijev, puts it forward. Brino reaches up and hauls it in. No trouble for the second-year starter for forward Madison. Windy Saturday night in Fresno as the sun begins to set. Still in search of that first goal. Well, we've seen one of them waning minutes of this first half. Maldonado works it ahead. And again out for A throw. They'll bring it back. Ramos. Quality ball forward. They leave it for Bijev. Dodges one, and then is cut off. So much attention being shown to Villian Bijev, and for good reason. Martin Vasquez says, no disrespect to the rest of this league, but he's the most talented guy in League One, and he's not the only person who thinks that, rest assured. Smith, in a tough situation, gives it away. And whistles blow. Osmond cranks it deep. Pressure applied on Antman, and it's given away. Bartman got a foot on it. And a whistle near the box. It's Bakijam, who was on the turf. And it's a yellow. Abdou Bakijam back in the starting 11. Let's look back at this. Oh, it was a dangerous back pass, and Bartman got a foot on the interception. Directed it right to Bakijam. And how about this? Oh, Maldonado. And Ramos, a little pushing and shoving. And they'll have to be separated. So from just beyond the 18. Initial indications suggest 2 minutes of stoppage time. Abdou Bakijam, the one who drew that contact, stands ready to rip it. More than capable of doing damage in a spot like this. Bakijam curls it just wide. We'll take a look back, yes, and the whistle was not blown yet. That's what the discussion was. So Abdou Bakijam, a little too antsy. Have to wait for the whistle to restart the action. Perhaps one final chance here for forward Madison in this first half. Osman has the header, and there is the whistle. We are scoreless through 45 minutes. The final match of this Week 9 in USL League One. Neither side all too threatening of an opportunity. And some discussion here from Mitch Osmond. Getting his 2 cents in with Karen Collado, our match referee. And we will make our way towards the halftime break. We'll have highlights, stats, and so much more for you after this. 0-0 the score at halftime on ESPN+. The first trip, Brino, the denial.
It's a goal for Orange County SC, and their first of the season, and that's full time. The old guard with a new trophy. Orange County wins the USL Championship final.
For the black and yellow, New Mexico takes the lead, and all 12,000 plus here at the lab are on their feet.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
The Fuego Fox cheering up some fans as we roll through our Week 9 slate in USL League One action. Let's take a look back at a jam-packed Week 8, our highlights from last weekend.
Playing professional career might be as old as Nick Holiday in goal. You're totally right. Yeah, you figure he started. Yeah, this is dangerous here. Arriaga.
It's a goal for Orange County SC, and their first of the season, and that's full time. The old guard with a new trophy. Orange County wins the USL Championship final.
For the black and yellow, New Mexico takes the lead, and all 12,000 plus here at the lab are on their feet.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Road teams, 14 wins, 9 losses heading into this last day of Week 8. All 3 of the home sides are looking for a first win. We started in North Carolina, where North Carolina FC hosting Greenville. Jaden Cervenia to Luis Arriaga between 5 defenders. First of the season for Arriaga, second in 2 seasons in an NCFC kit. It's 1-0 North Carolina. It's early and it's park the bus time, as the fans know they might be seeing their first home win. Don Smart down the pitch to Alan Gavilanes, one of 16 Greenville shots. North Carolina had 7. Couldn't find the net there. Later, Smart himself, one of the 2 Greenville shots on target. This one deflected away by Nicholas Holliday, who preserves his first career clean sheet in 7 matches. The 16-year-old gets North Carolina's first home win. They've won 2 out of 3. We go to Tormenta, a humbling day for South Georgia Tormenta, as Central Valley Fuego, which only had 1 road loss in 5 now, puts up 4 goals in the first half. Victor Falk in the 12th. There's Sergio Chavez in the 17th. Another look at it off the set piece. Pretty goals for Fuego. DA had 2 assists in this one, and the last 2 goals coming from Viljan Bijev, 35th and 42nd minute. 4 goals for Bijev now, second only to Tresor and Mbuyu of Charlotte, and tied with North Carolina's Garrett McLaughlin. Maxi Schenfeld with the assist here on the streaking Bijev. 4-0 Central Valley Fuego. As I mentioned, only 1 road loss in 5 matches. The Fuego are unbeaten in their last 4, 2 wins and 2 draws. It was also a long day for the home side up in Madison. Finally, the weather cooperates, and here's Charlotte with matches on Sunday and Wednesday, but they did not look worse for wear. 7th minute, Santos crosses it back post to Ivan Laqueta. First road goal for Charlotte in just its second road match, but that's 1-0. We stay there at the half. We forward to the second half in the 60th minute. Streaking down the right side, Quinn McNeil, the Charlotte FC loanee, lofts one over the keeper, Phil Brino, the first goal of his young pro career. That makes it 2-0 Charlotte on the road, looking for a 6-point week. Around the 75th, 76th minute, actually, it's Nazim Bartman who got one back just inside the 18, a blast far post. That made it 2-1, but despite a 67% possession edge and 11-5 shots advantage, Madison could not find an equalizing goal, and they lose 2-1. Still in search of its first home win are Madison, and Charlotte now jumps to the top of the table with a 6-point week. 1 win, 1 draw on the road.
Union Omaha, Minnesota United, a chance at another cup set. Here we go, 6th minute. Franco Fragapane in the box, slips it to Adrian Hunu, and Minnesota, the MLS side, takes a 1-0 lead. It would be the same score to stoppage time. Hey, maybe they would run away with things. But Union Omaha said, maybe not. Stoppage time of the first half, 45th minute +1. Rashid Nuhu bombs the ball downfield, headed forward by J.J. Skeers to a streaking Hugo Kabatani. He beats goalkeeper Eric Dick, and that ties the match as we make our way towards the locker room. Second half, 51st minute, a long cross from Skeers fails to clear by the defender to Joe Brito. Chests it down and fires it in. Top of the goal, a 2-1 lead. Union Omaha in the driver's seat. Look at that finish. Boom. 78th minute. Could Union Omaha hang on? A corner kick for Minnesota put Union Omaha under fire for the rest of this match. This corner kick cleared out by DJ Taylor. That's as good as they got. And it's another cup set, Union Omaha. Jay Mims and company celebrate to the quarterfinals, June 22nd, 8:30 p.m. And that would have just many big news and notes around the league. Again, that cup set, major win for League One. Our player of the week, Viljan Bijev, a brace at Tormenta, his second time winning that award. And how about Northern Colorado Hailstorm? They're set to open up their season at home. And they'll be doing that at the University of Northern Colorado. And there is Villian Bijev, one of 5 Fuego FC players named to Week 8 Team of the Week, a remarkable number, the most for any team this season, and for good reason. They won 4-0 at Tormenta. Here is our scoreboard from today. This is the 5th and final match. The previous 4, all final. So a couple more road wins. The road success in League One in 2022 continues. It's been a trend that has been really impressive to follow all season long. Let's take a look at the week to come. It starts on Wednesday, Richmond Kickers and Chattanooga Red Wolves, and then on Saturday, a quartet of matches, finishing with Forward Madison and FC Tucson at 8 p.m. Eastern. All of those matches on ESPN+. We're through 45 minutes. We'll have highlights and stats for you after this on ESPN+.
It's a goal for Orange County SC, and their first of the season, and that's full time. The old guard with a new trophy. Orange County wins the USL Championship final.
For the black and yellow, New Mexico takes the lead. And all 12,000 plus here at the lab are on their feet.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Let's look back at the first 45 minutes. Fuego FC, Forward Madison. This is the 18th minute, early in that first half. Well, some solid build-up here. You got the look ahead to Bartman. He let it fly out the left. It's not very threatening on the strike, but he has a couple of goals this year. Might as well give it a go. Strikes it off target. A little later on, 24th minute. Same side of the pitch, Baki Jam. Solid strike. But Ofek Antman unfooled, unfazed. And the stout keeper keeps the shutout going. 30th minute, as we move along in the first half, it's still Forward Madison. This has been much of the trend from the first half. Really solid first half performance as Maldonado dances through 2, trying to sneak it in front. Gebhard could not get a good strike on it. It cleared off the goal line. But you have to like what you've seen from Maldonado. Mikey Maldonado really shifty with the ball on his feet. And these are the first half stats. No goals, 7 shots. Again, nothing all too threatening. Pretty evenly played match all around, I'd say. I'd say Forward Madison had maybe some better looks than Fuego FC. Nonetheless, 0-0 the score at the break between these two sides. As we make our way towards the second half of action. And how about this? Fuego FC, for the 6th time in 8 matches this season, has not allowed a first half goal. And on the flip side, Forward Madison, for the 7th time in 8 matches, has not scored a first half goal. So these trends continue. Teams will switch sides on a windy Saturday night. 20-mile-per-hour winds in Fresno. It was sunny, it was warm, but now it's dark and windy. Second meeting of the season between these two squads. And remember, the first time that they met, it was a match that was seriously impacted by inclement weather. Non-stop rain, a lot of wind, not a warm day at all, and only one shot for Fuego FC. It was a misplayed ball by Phil Brino. I think we would have seen a very different match between these two sides if the weather was a little bit better. We're still waiting for our referees to return to the pitch. But a big thanks to all of you for joining us, wherever you may be tuning in. I'm sure a lot of Madison, Forward Madison fans watching back in Wisconsin. We actually saw some Forward Madison supporters in attendance out here in California. One of the great fan bases in this league. And here are our referees. There we go. And Fuego FC, of course, in year one as a franchise, trying to build a Forward Madison-esque supporting base. Something that Martin Vasquez really harped on, that, hey, we want to make this a difficult place to play. We want teams to come in here and to know that it's going to be a challenge. And this is a franchise that has really dug into their community, a soccer crazy area. Fresno, a city that has been littered with multiple iterations of professional clubs. As we kick things off in the second half, 0-0 the score. Forward Madison currently sits last with just 6 points of the season in the league table. Fuego FC enters today with 12 points, unbeaten in 4 straight. Fuego FC building something perhaps. Bijev tried to slip it across. Comes right back to the star forward. Low roller, and Brino routine on the save. Third shot on goal in the match for the home side. Looking to pick up its first home victory of the season. This is just their second home match of the year. And interestingly enough, it's been the road teams who have had the lion's share of success this season in League One, including today. Road teams are 18 wins and just 11 losses this season. Here is Jordan Chavez. Getting that left leg checked on. Chavez, who netted his first professional goal last week off a corner kick. Big target inside the box on those set pieces at 6'3". Help to his feet. Has a really cool soccer story. Chula Vista, California native. He was signed to the San Diego Loyal back in the summer of 2020. Made 3 appearances for Landon Donovan's squad. And he was actually able to deliver that news of his first professional contract to his father on Father's Day of 2020. Now in his second club, he started every match this season that he's played in for Fuego FC. Still some discussions. Jordan Chavez now standing off the pitch, getting set to head right back on. Just waiting for that whistle. And back to the action we go. Here's Ozzy Ramos. Smith. Jay just lost his footing. Leonard tries to target down the touchline. And Leonard whistled on the takedown of Bijev. We'll look back at this contact and you can see Leonard just trying to come around. Gillingham just totally misplayed it. Bakijam. Wheeler Amunu. Maldonado in space. Mikey Maldonado. His cross takes a deflection. Cassini now. Bijev got a foot on it. Leonard, really good sliding stop. Bijev dancing centrally. Here's Sharif J. J still probing. Back heel unsuccessful, was looking for Smith. It was not as close as Jay perhaps thought he was. Cassini launches ahead looking for Bartman. And right idea from Bakijam. He saw Antman way off his line.
Want behind the scenes look at CD Fuego FC? Make sure you stay connected with the team's social media. CD Fuego on Instagram.
DeLuce, now Smith. Fresno State Soccer Stadium coming to life a bit. second home match in Fuego FC history. A soccer-crazy area of California. Still building, cultivating that culture and fan base. Cassini chases after it. Did not quite get there. Schenfeld is slow to his feet. The Chilean who had an assist a week ago. Back and walking. Hit from behind. Wheeler Amunu. Bartman knocks it ahead. Foot race. Not much of a threat for Antman. Yet to see any substitutions for either side. It'll be interesting to see how these coaches manage that. Last week, Martin Vasquez changes came to the 71st and 82nd minute, respectively. Forward Madison saw changes in the 61st, 71st, 90th minute. Dug a little bit deeper into their bench last week. They also have a little bit more depth than they've had for much of this season. That's been an issue for them. Numbers on the right. No clear whistle just outside the box. And a card is shown. We'll see the contact just outside of the 18 as Bijev tries to dance on Leonard. And it's Eric Leonard who is booked. The 57th minute. So now Leonard and Drew Connor both sitting on a yellow card. Ramos alongside Bijev. Now it's only Bijev. The reigning league player of the week sends it netward on a deflection. Chavez. Phil Brito twice says not tonight. From a challenging angle, gets whipped on frame, comes right to Chavez, who scored a week ago, and that left paw of Phil Brito is just enough to put it over the end line. An El Mexicano corner kick on the way. Is a set piece the answer for Fuego? Towards the near post, comes to Smith, takes a deflection, a plead for a handball to no avail. Karen Collado being swarmed as Mateus Cassini gives her the necessary space. Regardless, it is a corner kick on the opposite side. Another El Mexicano corner kick. Let's see. Came to the near post. Watch as Smith puts it. Ooh. It was Osmond who came in a slide. Might have taken a deflection off of him. It sure did look like that. Ball in from Bijev. Brito again, able to redirect it. That was on target for an Olympico. How about a third straight corner kick?
Come on, fans, we need that energy. Time for another CV Fuego El Mexicano corner kick.
A fifth El Mexicano corner kick on the way for Fuego FC. A third of the last couple of minutes. Bakijam got his head on it. Which side of the flag will it go out on? And there is another corner. Our sixth El Mexicano corner kick of the night for the home side. Meanwhile, forward Madison does not have any after notching 7 corner kicks last weekend of their 2-1 loss. Once more, it's Bijev. In swinging ball, and it's Brito. Back pass towards Leonard. Taken away. It's Schenfeld. Lefty roller. I think he was looking for Jay, who was making a run to the back post. Nearly that breakthrough moment. For the first time in quite some time, forward Madison able to, at least momentarily, work it out of their defensive third. Nazim Bartman now, forcing the issue. Plays it for Cassini. The creative Brazilian trying to sneak it through. His pass intercepted. Back and forth we go. Jay works it ahead. Bijev jockeying. Fuego FC sits in that 3 spot. Now tied with North Carolina FC on points with 13. Forward Madison, bottom of the table, looking to steal some points on the road. It's a tough dribble, and it's worked out to Maldonado. Smith came in hard. Jay in the follow. Fuego FC, first of 3 consecutive home matches. They'll be off next week, but a couple more home matches after that. Is this something building? Bijev was in front, did not find him. It's Jay, second effort. Jay punches it backside. And Brino pulls it in. Smith applies the pressure, gets it right back. Both teams pleading for a handball. Some definite contact. Back heel finds Deleuze, playing well out of position. Jay takes a big hit. Maldonado came in like a heat-seeking missile. He just laid the lumber. So for a team that has had its fair share of El Mexicano corner kicks in this second half, they'll have a set piece in an even better spot now. It's Ramos who readies to take it. There's Jordan Chavez wearing the captain band, number 15. Chatting with her match official, Karen Collado. And watch out for Chavez on these set pieces. 6'3", scored last week. Nearly netted a goal today if it weren't for the heroic efforts of Phil Brino. Ball in from Ramos. Powerful to the backside. Nothing going. And there is Phil Brino. Has made some tremendous saves. A guy who's been tested quite a bit this season. Goes a lot average at 1.3 in the year. Five saves for Brino. That matches his season high. He had 5 saves back in week 5 against Richmond. That was player of the week, the only goalkeeper to win player of the week in that 5-save performance. And that was also forward Madison's lone win of this season. He was an own goal. Bartman, who just got rid of it, scored last week. Sprint, Wheeler Aminu has it. Centering feed off a deflection from Gilligan. And Atman is there. It was a promising look for forward Madison. But William Gillingham able to sniff it out. Bartman intercepts the feed from Bijev. Here is Bartman. Down he goes. They'll play on. Now Bijev tripped up. And a whistle. So let's look back at the previous opportunity for forward Madison. Wheeler Amunu kind of broke free, tried to flick it centrally. Really good look for them. And then here is, on both sides, this was not called, as Bartman did hit the deck. Couldn't quite tell from that angle. And that time Bijev goes down. And Drew Connor is whistled on the foul. Jay slices. Jay rolls for Ramos. I think he tried to let that go through him. And Bakijam, if he was able to corral that, that would have been a foot race to Antsman of the net. These are two teams who find themselves opposite sides of the table. They've had really just opposite seasons so far. It's Fuego FC, they've had no trouble scoring goals. 13 goals this year. On the flip side, just 6 goals for forward Madison. Schenfeld, edge of the 18. Jay centers. Ramos with his off foot. Check that, it was Falk.
Hey, don't forget, it's not too late to visit the CB Fuego team store located in the Fuego fan zone. Get your merch today in your Fuego FC kits.
Phil Brino, a 5-save performance. He has kept his side in this one, and these have not been easy saves. He's had at least 2 saves that have required extensive effort as the Fuego supporters look on at Fresno State Soccer Stadium. Matt Glazer hoping his squad can dial something up. Just 1 win so far for the Mingos. Cassini, oh, nearly slipped it ahead. Had the right idea, had his man making a run. Now it's Bartman. Rolls wide for Maldonado. One-on-one with Smith. Maldonado could not get the cross in. And for the first time tonight, a corner kick for forward Madison. Mikey Maldonado. Spent last year with North Texas. First season in Madison. First corner of the night for the visitors. Hangs in the air. And Antman quickly gets rid of it. Nazim Bartman. Nathan Smith, driven ball, looking for Bijev, found him momentarily. Wheeler Amunu lofts it, and out for a throw. Inside the final 20 or so minutes of this one, still 0-0. Second meeting of the season between these two clubs. It was a 1-0 victory in Madison for Fuego. Central Valley has been one of the hottest teams in this league. 4-match unbeaten streak entering today, fresh off of a 4-0 thrashing of Tormenta in Georgia. A side that has had little to no issue scoring goals this year. Trying to find that combination today. A diverse attack, 7 different goal scorers. 4 with multiple goals, 7 different players have assists as well. Victor Falk. Hornsby now plays it back. Cross just kind of hung up there forever. 74th minute, still nothing to show for these two sides. Both these teams have found a little bit of success in the second half, each scoring 5 goals respectively in the final 45 minutes of matches this season. Hornsby upended. Quick restart. Hornsby. Ramos. Settled. Bijev trying to knock it towards the box. Bijev. Really nice flick back. Hornsby puts in a cross. And it's pushed out of danger, if only momentarily. Smith wheeling. Back for Ramos. And Ramos is the one whistled. It's Bartman shaken up. And those absolutely gorgeous kits. And that is just elite, an elite look for forward Madison. And Bartman came in for it. Ramos whistled on the foul. First half pretty even in most categories. Second half though, it has been Fuego possession heavy play. They have loaded up on the corner kicks. And it took until the 77th minute, but we have our first substitutions of the match. Justin Suko heads on for Mateus Cassini, and Jeremiah Strang, who had started the previous 4 matches, replaces Abdou Bakijam. There is the aforementioned Justin Suko, second year with forward Madison. Last year, tied for the team lead with 3 assists. And Abdou Bakijam saunters over to the sideline as Jeremiah Strang, who was a loan from Finnish side SJK Sinajoki, will replace him. Strang, somebody who has first-tier Finnish experience, formerly a member of the U20 Finnish national team. Aldonado, right back to Mikey. Falk had it well played though. Jay, triple teamed. Shakes them off. Somehow works it wide. Can Smith keep it in play? Yes, he can. Smith powers it inside the 18. A threatening moment. Victor Falk tried to one-time it. This all started with this ridiculous pass from Jay. Smith, a pretty solid cross. He found his target at Victor Falk. That is a tough one to hit. Some young fans taking to the action. Start him young, right? fun atmosphere tonight. Fresno State Soccer Stadium. Just the second time this season that these home supporters have been able to watch their club play in Fresno. First, out of the first 7 matches that Central Valley played, 6 of them were on the road. Bartman tripped up. That'll slow things down. Wincing. And a card is shown. It's Nathan Smith who is issued the yellow. Let's see what transpired here. Smith came in from behind, looked like he just stepped on that heel of Bartman. And the yellow is shown. So Nathan Smith has the yellow. And then Eric Leonard and Drew Connor of Forward Madison have a yellow as well. Connor just dribbled it over the touchline. Chip ball for Maldonado. Well placed. Tries to work centrally. Knocked down from behind by Jay. And now he is shown a yellow. So Sharif Jay has a yellow to his name. An incredulous look on his face, and this will provide Forward Madison with a quality opportunity pretty much straight away. It's Jeremiah Strang, the Finnish striker, has 1 goal this season. Somebody Maclay's minute. Go ahead goal, and Forward Madison has Fuego FC on the ropes. Drop dead gorgeous. Jeremiah Strang, his 2nd of the season. Drops it in beyond Ofek Antman, who has been one of the top keepers in the league this season. Look at that drop. Just a knuckleballer as it curls home. And jubilation for the Mingos. Phil Brino covers after a weak attempt by Fuego FC. And Forward Madison. Hatitude back in the lineup. Now back-to-back matches with the goal for Forward Madison. Before Bartman scored late in last match against Charlotte Independence, they had gone 382 minutes without a Forward Madison player scoring a goal. But the offense starting to find a little bit of life. Promising sign for Mac Lasers club. And they play on. Bartman open inside the 18. Bartman could have put this one away. Instead, it's a goal kick. How about this? It was kept in on the touchline. Perfect vision. One-time attempt from Bartman. there's something brewing on the other side. Not just yet, as Rod cuts it away. Ramos. Bijev with the right. A skipper into the chest. Phil Brino. So we mentioned before, Diego Casillas is on. He replaced Sharif J. Another substitute heads on as well for the home side. Renato Bustamante replaces Maxi Schenfeld. Casillas was not in the squad last week for the first time this season. Has 2 goals this year, one of 4 multi-goal scorers, and Martin Vasquez said his return just adds another major threat for us. As the only home goal, poor goal kick from Brino. So they'll see if Casillas, who again is the only home goal in club history, he scored against Greenville Triumph. Maybe could be a spark. And a change for Matt Glazer's squad as Cesar Murillo Jr. heads on and Derek Gebhardt comes off. Murillo Jr., who did not play last weekend against Charlotte. This is just his 2nd time coming off the bench this season. 5-time starter. Former Greenville Triumph man. Bartman wins it. Here's Casillas. Looking to be a spark plug as a substitute. Casillas checked down by Maldonado. They'll not whistle it for a foul. Michael Hornsby leaves it for Ramos. Casillas. Options on his left. Flick back. Casillas, first 1-2 and a roller. Now Ramos. Finds Smith, has space. Smith leaves it back. Casillas lets it rip. Another corner kick on the way. Let's look back at this. Multiple chances. Casillas comes on, and no doubt about it, he's making an impact, folks. Another El Mexicano corner kick. The 8th of the night for the home side. In swinging ball towards the back post. And heads out for a Fuego throw. Right back to Hornsby. He loses it. Counter chance for forward Madison. If they can find the second, it might be enough. Won't come right here. Did Strang stay onside? Yes, he did. Has 1 goal already. Strang off target. Towing that back line. And we are into the final minute. Awaiting the stoppage time numbers. But not much more time for the home side to find that equalizer. Maldonado Rolls for Wheeler Amunu. Content just to play to the corner flag and run some clock. Oh, and a shove after the whistle. This has been a physical match all night long. And there is Christian Enriquez. He's getting set to check on for Nazim Bartman up front. And 5 minutes of stoppage time, the decision. And Nazim Bartman was just awarded a yellow card. He comes off though, so won't have a danger of picking up his second, but nonetheless, it's whistled for just stalling. Again, 5 minutes of added time. Smith with Green in front. Smith sends in a cross, backside, finds a foot! Fuego FC coming oh so close. Casillas pushed from behind. There's the whistle. Diego Casillas, talk about an impact substitute. This is somebody who has started the majority of matches he's played in this year, but they're still working him back in after missing last week. But he has come into this one and has provided an absolute spark as a sub. Hornsby and Smith stand over it against the two-man wall of Suko and Drew Connor. Hornsby curls it in front. There's the equalizer. Bijev. Who else? It's a frenzy in Fresno. And there's the man who just set it off. Ball in from Hornsby, and he finds the reigning player of the week. Bijev, his 5th goal of the season. What a scene. What a night. And what a moment for that man, Villian Bijev. But still time left for both sides. Enriquez rolls it centrally. And Ant-Man had it sniffed out. The streamers, the smoke still in full effect. Is there something more? Victor Falk now. Wheeling, Falk held up a little bit. It was a promising opportunity. And Deleuze is whistled to the foul. The stoppage time goal by Bijev, the equalizer. But still time for maybe something more. Enriquez stayed onside. Rolls in front. Nobody there. Some threatening moments late for forward Madison. Wheeler Amunu. Maldonado racing over there. Could not get there. It was an 82nd minute goal by Jeremiah Strang. Drilled a free kick to get the scoring started. And then 10 minutes later, stoppage time. 92nd minute, Villian Bijev connects. A couple set piece goals have us level. Casillas. On a return, Casillas tries to turn the corner. Can't imagine there's much more time than this.
Open!
Smith boots it long. Bijev gets there. And that's out. Is it out? Is it out? It is not. Nearly a corner. And there's the whistle. What a final 20 or so minutes of this one. You got 2 goals, 82nd minute and later, a flurry of chances late. And we end things 1-1 in an epic duel. Forward Madison comes on the road against one of the hottest teams in this league. They get a point, and I'm sure they would have loved the 3 points. But if you're Matt Glazer, you have a lot that you liked about this one. Fuego FC gets that late equalizer. We'll have stats, highlights, and much more for you after this. 1-1 the final from Fresno, California. Don't go anywhere. Post-game on ESPN+.
It's a goal for Orange County SC, and their first of the season, and that's full time. The old guard with a new trophy. Orange County wins the USL Championship final.
For the black and yellow, New Mexico takes the lead, and all 12,000 plus here at the lab are on their feet.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Well, a couple of key players chatting things over. Villian Bijev in the red, he had that equalizer. Wheeler Amunu, big performance as well. But what a fun atmosphere tonight, especially in the waning minutes, 82nd minute and later. Things just went off the rails. And even before then, this was a really fun second half after a pretty quiet first half of play. But the supporters showed out in full force. Some Forward Madison supporters in attendance as well. Great fan base that travels nationwide. Hey, Forward Madison's first time ever playing in California. Might as well make a nice little trip of it as Cesar Moreo makes his way over. And let's look back at the match that was. And what a match it was. 57th minute. This is where we'll get things started in the second half. It was Brino on the denial, not once, but twice, as the goalkeeper kept things scoreless. Look back at this. Once from Bijev, then at Chavez point blank. Off the left hand of Brino. 82nd minute. Jeremiah Strang, a substitute. A little bangerang. 1-0, Forward Madison gets that go-ahead goal. The man on loan from Finland. Look at this. Deposits it past an extended Ofek Edman. Things were looking good for Forward Madison until this moment. Hornsby to who else but Bijev. His 5th goal of this season. Had a brace last week, has a goal tonight, and it's Central Valley's 5th game-tying goal of this season, as he gives these home supporters something to celebrate. And look at those numbers. They're gaudy. 34 combined shots, 21 shots for the home side, 7 on target, and 6 of which were saved by Phil Brino. A stellar performance by the keeper. Possession controlled by Fuego FC as well. But that was a fun one. 1-1 the final. And that brings us to the end of Week 9 in League 1. And this is the week that was. All 5 matches were played today. A jam-packed Saturday. A whole lot of close matches. Nothing decided by more than 1 goal. That's what you love to see, right? A lot of exciting action in League 1. So here we go, our updated league table. Fuego FC gets a point, so up to 13 points. They move level with North Carolina FC. And Forward Madison still at the bottom, but they are tied in points now with FC Tucson and Union Omaha. They steal a point on the road. Again, something that Matt Glazer's company can certainly build on as they move forward. And speaking of moving forward, here is Week 10. It gets started on Wednesday. Richmond Kickers in Chattanooga, and then a quartet of matchups next Saturday, with Forward Madison ending things against FC Tucson next Saturday night. That is the Bike to Breeze night at Breeze Stevens Field. That should be a fun one. Match that kicks off with a Trek Pride ride to the stadium. Well, that was epic. That was fun. And a whole lot of action in the waning moments. Matt Glazer looking on. Physical match. A lot of contact. Not a lot of goals early, but late, there we go. Strang finds one. A takedown right there. Ofek Edman, a little bit of a stumble, but 1-1 was the final in a thriller out in California. The equalizer here on ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League 1 cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League 1.